be an exciting time. So let's get into it. Tonight we have a special guest with us. He's from Eternity, and he's we met online, and it's been like we had this kind of back and forth on what we are going to talk about today. But we are here and we are going to talk about blockchain. We're going to talk about how it affects you, how you can get into the field of blockchain. And please know that our platform is just for you to learn how the different kinds of technology, learn how it works, learn how you can get a career. So we are going to be doing this bi-weekly, as I have said. Last week we had a data scientist here with us. Today we have a blockchain expert. So you want to know about blockchain, you want to know everything that has to do with the blockchain. Today is the day. So let's get started. So I'm going to bring him in very soon. So if you are watching this and you watch to the end, I have a special announcement to make. So I'm going to bring in Success Oganiru, Learn to Code. We met on WhatsApp, and he said he wants to be here with us. So I made it my responsibility to let him be here today. So hi, Success. Hope you can hear. Hope you can hear us.
Yes, I can hear you guys. I can hear you. Good afternoon, Daniel.
All right. Okay, so before we get started talking about blockchain and the likes, I want to know how you got started programming. Like, was it a hard process for you, or was it a passion, or you just got into it for fun?
Okay, programming for me was I can't really say it was passion for me or it was for fun. It was more of when I left school in the university. So I was like, okay, let me venture into technology and all of that. And I set up graphics design. So I saw maybe I had an interest in web development and web design. So that's how I got started, because I wanted to pursue a career in technology. So it wasn't really something that I was passionate for, because I didn't study anything science. I was a pure science student. I studied sociology and anthropology, so I didn't have any background on technology.
Wait, you said
programming.
You said you studied anthropology.
Sociology and anthropology, yes, that's what I studied.
Sociology and anthropology. Wow. And now you're into tech, and you're now a blockchain ambassador. Wow, that's really nice. So the point taken from here is, no matter which field you are, it doesn't matter what your certificate says, you can get into technology, you can get into programming at any time. It doesn't matter what you studied in university. Sure. So it's not about your certificate, it's about what you can do. All right, so we are going to get into, we don't have much time, so we are going to get into our topic of today, which is blockchain. So what is blockchain? Like, let's say I don't have any idea what blockchain is. I've never heard the term blockchain. So how would you explain blockchain to me?
Okay, I would explain from a layman's point of view, so you understand what we're trying to talk about. The technology came, into light from the popular cryptocurrency we all know, which is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin was the first public commodity or product that was built using blockchain.
So tell me, how is blockchain affected with cryptocurrency? Like, what is how is Bitcoin affected with blockchain? Can you explain their connection?
Okay, Bitcoin was built. Okay, the original idea of blockchain technology was built by Satoshi Nakamoto. The man that we don't really know about. We can't really say this is the man, or we don't really have the identity. There have been lots of arguments that Satoshi Nakamoto is a group of developers. Some say it is a man from China. Some say it's a man from the US. So the identity of the creator of the technology is not known, which is the first platform that they built to discuss about blockchain and all of that is the Bitcoin talk. I don't know if you've come across that before, the Bitcoin talk. So it was built to discuss about Bitcoin.
I get it.
Bitcoin was Bitcoin was the product built using blockchain technology. So that was the original. It was built to create a decentralized form of transaction. Okay,
All
talk
right.
about
So
this
there's a keyword here,
decentralized.
decentral. There's a keyword here which is decentralized. So
Decentralized,
explain
yeah.
what decentralized mean. Like, yeah, explain how it's related to the blockchain technology.
Okay, I would just break it down from a more democratic point of view. We'll talk about democratic system of government. I'll use that to explain so that we can all relate. In Nigeria,
All
we
right. All
practice
right.
a democratic system of government for the people, by the people, of the people. So we'll talk about the financial systems now in the world. We'll talk about the fiat system, the naira, the dollar, and all of that. These are controlled by central authorities like the central bank, government
Okay.
authorities. They have control over your funds. If you, for example, have an amount in your bank account, and I know, like, for example, a month ago, I was debited from my bank account. I was debited about 7,000 naira, and I was wondering how come. You understand? The banks have direct access to your information, your details. They have control over it. Now, you really think you have control over it, but in real sense, you don't have control. You understand? So decentralization came to bring about the form that we can have control over our financial assets, and not having a central authority control it. That's why the Bitcoin protocol, I'm using that as an example because it was the first product built, is a decentralized protocol. So you have now that you can have nodes running in different, you understand, different nations of the world. And if you, for example, the project I work for, Eternity, we have nodes and all of that, which we'll talk about going forward. So it's a decentralized form of transaction that no central authority has control over the financial
Okay.
system
Yeah, it's like okay, it's distributed. Like different people
yeah, it's
have
distributed,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's distributed along different places. So nobody has like a say. Like I am the person that owns this platform.
I am the
Like
owner.
let's
Yes,
say,
there's no ownership. Yeah.
yes, for example, Facebook now or Twitter or any social
Yes,
media now,
yeah.
they own our data.
They own
They
your
know how
data.
to
They can
regulate those
sell it.
data.
They can sell
Yeah,
it. They can do whatever
they
they want with it. So,
can.
yeah,
Or when it comes to blockchain, it's more of nobody owns it. Your data is your data, and
yes,
nobody can manipulate it.
you are in
All right.
control of your data. Yeah.
Yeah, you're in control of your data. So, how long have you been into this blockchain field? And yeah, how long have you been
Okay.
in this field?
Okay, I started off 2018, when I graduated from the university. So I was learning programming and all of that, and I met a guy that was discussing about blockchain, Bitcoin, and all of that. So I was like, okay, I was curious. So I started going for ninth class. Normally when you are in the university, you go for ninth class to to pass an exam. But I started going for ninth class to really learn about. It was a very funny stuff. And persons who knew me, they was like, "Why are you going for ninth class again? I thought you are done with school." I had to go and make research about it, and that's how I came across Eternity blockchain, which
Okay.
really I began to understand blockchain technology more practically when I came across Eternity
Okay, so
blockchain, which
so
I
so
ambassador for.
tell us about Eternity. What are they? What do they do? How do they relate to blockchain?
Okay, Eternity is blockchain. It does not relate. Eternity is a blockchain project. You understand?
Okay.
It's a blockchain project, and I'll explain all this. We talk about, like, the definition we gave earlier about blockchain being a distributed and decentralized form of transaction. If you are using the transaction definition, but if you are using database, right now you can also compute database on the blockchain. Okay, now if we begin to see how we can apply the technology in more practical use cases, you understand, apart from it being used for cryptocurrencies. Now we have more popular discussions about cryptocurrencies, how you can trade and all of that. If you've been following the blockchain space, you'd know the dominant topics are more of trading, more of how you can invest and make money and all of that. But we see less
Yeah.
discussion on how you can solve real world problems, how you can begin to build applications. Like we talk about the developers
Okay,
coming on
okay.
board to,
How,
yeah.
okay, let's say how would you begin to build applications with blockchain? Because personally,
Yes, yes, yes. And that's what, yeah.
with all these building applications, I even heard of Forsage during this whole pandemic time. Forsage was all over the news. They
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that it
yeah.
was built on blockchain and all those stuff. So how,
Okay.
like, I was now hearing about smart contracts. I was hearing all these
Yeah.
strange terms. So let's go to the first term that is on my mind now. What are smart contracts?
Okay, I will answer your question. I will bring everything together so I can answer your question. Stuffs like Forsage, Million Money, those are Ponzi schemes. They are scams. Understand? They are not anything related to blockchain technology because they tell you invest this amount to get this amount, so it does not relate. Now, if we're talking about Eternity blockchain, which I work for, it's blockchain 3.0. Blockchain 1.0 is the Bitcoin protocol. You understand? That was blockchain 1.0. Blockchain 2.0 was Ethereum. Ethereum was built to enable developers build on the blockchain. You understand? So we can take it from being a transactional form and begin to utilize the technology in more practical sense. But Ethereum has this issue of scalability. You understand? If you're into the blockchain space, you understand that right now, if you are making transaction on the Ethereum protocol, you pay high fees. They are high. They charge you. It has an issue of scalability. It is slow, and most time if you're writing in so Solidity, you're building a smart contract, which I will explain what it is. In Solidity, it's very difficult. You understand? If you're a newbie to the crypto space, you can't really begin to develop on Solidity and you catch up early. So Eternity is blockchain 3.0. You understand? Blockchain 3.0 means it brings solution to the problems encountered with blockchain 1.0, blockchain 2.0, which is Ethereum. It brings solutions to the issue of scalability, to the issue of security in your smart contracts, to the issue of speed. You understand? Eternity has one of the fastest form. If you're writing a smart contract, I'll show you, we'll see an example of that later. You will see how it runs fast because it has a virtual machine called Fate. Now, when you write your smart contract, the speed of deploying your smart contract is crazy. Like, it's fast. You deploy, you
Okay,
see the results. So it's smart.
you have talked about smart contracts. Now, how would you
Yeah.
explain smart contracts to someone who has never touched a computer before in his life, in his or her
Yes, a
life?
smart
How do
contract
you explain a
is
smart contract?
okay. A smart contract basically is you writing codes to build a decentralized application on the blockchain. Okay, that's a very simple definition of that. For example, you want to build an application for voting. Okay, using the blockchain for voting. Okay, which is a good use case because we see that you cannot, if you use blockchain technology for voting. One of the key aspects of blockchain technology is that it is immutable, immutability. Okay, now if you have immutability, you can then, if we have votes, like you vote for a candidate running for an election, you cannot vote multiple times. Okay, and once you vote, it is stored on the blockchain. You cannot change it. Okay, now with that, you can see transparency in
Okay,
the voting system. Yeah. Now, if you're writing a smart
yeah,
contract for the
yeah,
voting, yeah,
actually used I've actually used a blockchain, a decentralized voting platform,
yes,
Univote.
yeah,
We used it in
yeah,
University of
Univote. That was
voting
built on
experience. Yeah,
Eternity blockchain. Yeah, Eternity
yes,
ambassador Steve built that. Yeah.
yes. So
So
yeah,
that's a practical use
it's a
case.
decentralized.
Yeah.
it reduces corruption. These are the advantages
Yes.
of blockchain, and there is no person that can say, okay, I want to get into this system and I want to
Yes, you
change it, I
cannot.
want to hack it. Or
Yes, you cannot do any of
it's
that.
very,
It's
very,
secured.
very secure.
Yeah.
Very, very secure. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how is like if I want to get into, like, I want a job now, as is there any job I can get related to blockchain?
Yeah,
Like,
there
is
are
there
lots
any
of
job I can get
opportunities.
related?
There are lots of opportunities in the blockchain space. Like myself, like I said, I didn't study anything about technology. I studied sociology and anthropology. I was more focused on learning the social behavior of whatever. And of course, it kind of shows in what I'm doing now. Like I'm able to relate and understand people and all of that. But I didn't study anything about technology. So when I got in the blockchain space, I got an ambassador opportunity with an eternity, you understand, which there are lots of opportunities out there. All you got to do is to ensure you build yourself. You first of all study. Like I said, I went for 9 classes. I learned what blockchain was, so I don't come outside to start applying for a job and they ask me, what do you think you can, you understand? If they ask you what is blockchain and you don't have an idea, you understand? So you have to study, you have to make your own research, you have to know what you're doing. And it's most times it takes time because most jobs they ask for your experience, and most times more in more recent. Yeah, you said what?
Okay, so how would I get started? Like, how would I get
Okay,
started in
yeah.
blockchain? How would I get started in any field of that is related to blockchain?
Okay, what you have to do, you have to first of all understand what blockchain is. There are so many aspects of the blockchain technologies, not just about, the popular ones are more of trading, investment, and all of that. But there are more, I believe, a good aspect because I believe this is developer community. Learn to code is a developer. So in getting a job, you have to know how to build reward solutions on the blockchain. So you have to learn blockchain programming. Okay. So
Okay,
when
so
you get started by learning blockchain programming, how to
sorry,
write a smart contract and all
let me
of that.
just let me just interrupt you. Let me just interrupt you here. If
Okay.
you are watching this and you have any questions, you should drop it in the comments. I can see all your comments, and if you have not made this a
Yeah.
watch party, then you should really do that now. Let your friends know about this platform. We are going to get into some nitty-gritty details of how all these things work at the end of the program. So you have to stay tuned to the end to actually know how everything we are saying works. So you have to actually stay to the end. So make it a watch party. I'm like, okay, success. We are saying something about understanding how blockchain works. I also feel that when it comes to any field of programming here, that it requires patience. Like I always say,
Yes, yeah,
patience.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
So how would you place that in your own journey? Like, you as a person, how has patience helped you, like, increase your how has patience helped you increase your zeal for coding and made you a better programmer?
Yeah. Okay. It's patience. I started like I said, I started off with blockchain technology 2018, and I also got an opportunity with an eternity. The same period of time. You understand? So I didn't have any experience blockchain programming or whatever. You understand? I just understood what eternity was, and eternity launched a course introduction to blockchain development on darky.org. Okay, we'll drop
Okay,
the link to that.
let's
Let me
let's
drop the
let's
link to
let's
that.
pause, let's pause here. You said that there's a course for you to learn this stuff online,
Yes, you
right?
can learn about eternity development, blockchain development on darkade.org. Okay,
And it's
so and it's free. It's free. Yeah, it's free. Yeah,
okay.
you know.
So right
Yeah.
now, right here, if you're watching this, go to dakar.org, and are they still giving money?
The rewards were lifted, more and more
Oh, they were lifted.
during the
Sad.
pandemic, when the coronavirus stuff started. So it was like the reward was lifted, but definitely everything come back to normal when the
Okay,
virus
okay,
is
okay.
over. Yeah.
Because I recall that there was a time when there was a reward like up to 20K that you would finish a
Yeah.
course or something.
Yes, that was how I got started in blockchain development. Actually,
Wow,
because
wow.
they
Yeah, one of
really
the
did
things I
it. Because
want for the
when
most.
I saw it, I was like, wow, this stuff blockchain development is not something vague. It was, if you developed on Solidity, for example, it's looking like what is that? What is going on here? Like you're
Yeah,
confused. You don't
yeah,
even
yeah,
know what's
yeah.
happening. But when you
Right.
develop on Eternity, you see that you can connect this.
There's a question for you. There's a question for you, success.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
what system was blockchain built on that it can't be hacked?
Okay, blockchain was built. See, the word blockchain means, it just, let me use this to explain this for you. You understand? Blocks being chained together. Do you understand? It's like blocks being chained together. You understand? That's a very basic understanding. There. So if you want to hack, and this block runs into infinity, there are infinity blocks on the blockchain. And once a transaction is entered, it is transmitted to every block on the blockchain. So if you hack a block, for example, if you hack a block or a node on the blockchain, you understand? Every node, the every other node on the blockchain, which runs into infinity, there are lots of them, over millions. They will definitely detect which node has been corrupted. Okay, you understand? For example, if you're using a centralized database system, you can just hack the system and collect data. But now, if you hack a block, other blocks which run into infinite, there are lots of them. They will definitely, know that, hey, this block has been corrupted, and it will be definitely, you cannot come and hack. You don't have the computing power for it. The blockchain takes, if you are mining, for example, if you want to mine, you need lots of electricity. You understand? And we have more mining pools in Asia because they have cheap
Okay, I'm
electricity.
hearing I'm hearing a completely new term here.
Okay, I'm
What
using
is
this to explain. Yeah.
what is
Okay,
mining? Like
mining, it's
I've been
it's
seeing them
simply
all over the internet, mining Bitcoin, mining altcoins, mining whatever. So how does mining work?
okay. Mining, because the reason why people get scammed with mining, a lot of persons, they get scammed, because they feel mining is like you are digging for gold. You understand? And, in real life, when you want to get gold, you have to dig the ground. So they feel, so when someone comes and tell you he mines Bitcoin, you think he has something that digs it for it. No, 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 no. There's nothing like that. It's basically solving transactions. It's like solving mathematics, adding blocks, adding transactions to the blockchain. You understand? So once a transaction is done, it sends, the transaction goes in form of a mathematical, you understand, problem that machines then solve. And once this is, the first, yeah, yeah. So once this is solved, they get incentives. Incentives in blockchain, which is the miner's reward. Understand? It's just like that in every other cryptocurrency out there. So that's what mining is exactly. Yeah.
For those listening, mining is just basically you going for,
There are
how do I put
machines.
it
Yeah,
now?
machines.
You said,
Machines solving. Yeah.
yeah, it's like your computer is trying to solve a mathematical operation before it's able to
Yes.
perform a
Yeah.
transaction on that particular
Before it
blockchain.
can.
So
Yeah.
that when
Then
your
when it's solved. Yeah.
yeah, when it solves it, then you will now get incentives, like, okay, if you're using
Yes. Yes.
Bitcoin now,
Yes.
you will get one
Get
Bitcoin or two
incentivized
Bitcoins
with
for
Bitcoin. Yeah.
that transaction.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is what basically what mining is. So next time your friend asks you what mining is, you know what to say. All
Yeah.
right. So somebody asking, does
Okay.
blockchain and eternity work hand in hand, and how?
Okay. Eternity is a blockchain protocol. You understand? Built using Erlang. How many of us know? You should know Erlang, Daniel. You should know
Me, I don't know
Erlang.
Elang.
Erlang. Yeah. Erlang was the
Elang
the
or Elang.
Erlang. 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 Okay, ERO lang, ERO the language. If you are you oh we all use WhatsApp, right? You use what WhatsApp. Yeah, the technology that WhatsApp was built with is Erlang. Yes, that's it. Erlang. Erlang is the technology that WhatsApp was built on. You understand? And it was created to ensure that there's speed, because it talks about networks. You understand? You have a smartphone there. It's connected to a network. I have a smartphone. There are lots of smartphone, and it was created to see speed, um, scalability. You understand how when we have more interaction, there's no it does
Okay,
not get
so
slow. Yeah.
if I'm getting you correctly, you're saying like Eternity, okay, was built on the blockchain, like it was built on the blockchain.
Yes, Eternity built his blockchain protocol using Erlang.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, it built it using
Yes.
Erlang, but it's like,
Eternity is a blockchain protocol. I don't know if you understand.
okay, Eternity is a blockchain protocol. Okay, for everybody
Yes.
watching, Eternity is blockchain. It's not blockchain in itself. It's a blockchain
Yes, a
protocol. That means
blockchain protocol.
access the blockchain using its own piece of code, using its own language and the
Yes,
likes. Am I
to
correct?
develop.
Yes.
Yeah. To using Erlang, because
Yeah.
Erlang is scalable. Erlang is fast because it was used, to as a form of building the application WhatsApp to be able to connect between network with speed. So that was why Eternity is very, very fast. If you are sending cryptocurrency in Eternity from a wallet to another, you see the speed. It's just a matter of seconds. But if you are sending Ethereum, Bitcoin, and all of that, it takes time. You understand? So
Yeah.
Eternity was built to see how we can bring
Success.
speed. Yeah.
Success. What is the future of blockchain? Like, do you see blockchain in our future, or is just a present technology that is going to fade away? How do you see this? How do you trend? Is it just like a fad that's going to just come and stay, or do you see that it's going to be in our future? And how? Because now it's not really pronounced. It's not really. It's not something that everyone knows about it. That is why we are discussing about it today. So we are enlightening people. But how would you say, is it going to be something that is in our future 50 years from now, that everybody will be decentralized? Do you see it as going to, how many years do you see that we are going to be a decentralized earth? Like the whole world is going to be centralized. Is it going to be possible,
Okay.
or how do you see it?
Okay, I think the issue is not that we don't have blockchain. Blockchain is not new. It's not new. You understand? It's been there. I think the issue we have is the issue of education. Okay, you see lots of
Okay.
persons, they are introduced to blockchain with scams like Forsage, Million Money, and all of those scams like the OneCoin and all of that Ponzi scheme. If you've been following, I got to know about Bitcoin through a Ponzi scheme that was early as 2016. I think so, 2016, 2017.
Can you give us some gist on how you got into that Ponzi scheme? Like you say, can you give us some little gist? So
Okay. I didn't really go into it. I didn't really go into it. I had friends and guys. They wanted to invest because they thought it will double them. The MMM.
camera.
No. I didn't do all of that. But I did that scheme, but not Bitcoin related.
Okay.
So we got to understand Bitcoin and blockchain from the aspect of Ponzi scheme. But later on, when we got more educated, we understood that this transcends more than all those scams out there. We began to see the reward used for the technology. And sure, I think the issue of mass adoption, like you asked, if you think everybody will embrace it, I think
Yeah.
the issue of mass adoption is education, not with the issue. It's not the issue of the technology. Is an issue with education. Lots of persons out there, they are not yet educated. That's why we push for events like this to educate people on this. Is the future. We talk about DeFi. DeFi is it's the popular trend
Yeah.
now. Decentralized finance.
Yes.
Is the popular. So we see more use cases, and it's something that is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It's here forever. Understand? It's here forever.
So
And
it's a whole. Last week we talked about data science. Our first episode we talked about hacking. And this is another whole new field, a whole new opportunity, and it's all in the world technology. It's all related to programming. You know that when you enter into this programming field, there are many places that have potential. There's AI, there's blockchain, there's
Yes.
hacking, there's
Um,
and it's about,
Daniel,
it's about being educated.
yeah,
It's about
you
you being
know,
educated. It's about you knowing, okay, I want to go into this field. Like, okay, today I want to get into blockchain. I am going to study. Like you said, you went to night school. It's just for you to put in the work. You have to put in the work. If you don't put in the work,
yeah,
you're not going anywhere.
yeah.
Can you tell us? Can you tell us your process of how you did the work? Like, I know you went into night school. Can you explain how that works so that somebody that is watching this can get some value out of this?
Okay, what you do first of all when you hear about blockchain, you don't go to start searching for where you can invest in blockchain. That's a very wrong way to go. That's why people get involved in forsage and all of these scams and they lose money. You first of all go to understand what blockchain is. Okay, you understand the upsides of it, the downside, and you understand projects out there that are working to build solutions to problems that exist, you know, on the blockchain or what on the blockchain protocol, or seeing how they can build reward use cases using blockchain technology. So you go first of all to understand what blockchain is. I didn't focus on like early. I only got into trading more practically, and I got involved in trading recently, just this year. I think 2019/2020, that was when I got to start making research on trading and all of that, because trading is more of, if you're involved in forex, stocks, it's just you are trading between coins, you are buying low, you are saying high. If you are using futures, you are like predicting it will price will go up and down.
Okay, okay.
That does not have
That
anything to do with
that
the
is more of the
technology.
investment. That's more of the
Yes, it's
investment
the
part.
investment part, is making money. Yeah,
Yes, there's
yeah.
a technical path that if you want to get into programming, that you need to follow this path.
Understand what blockchain is. Yes, you have
Like
to
I
learn, you have to take.
this
Yeah.
Dakar.org. You want to get into learning about the blockchain, just go to these websites. You see introduction to blockchain straight up. You
Then
see it on their
you see
yeah,
introduction to eternity development, which is very
yeah,
easy for you to get started with
yeah,
blockchain
you get
development.
insight.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, giving you money for it, but your motivation should not be money at this point.
you
Your
should.
motivation
Yes, you'll be
to learn,
learning.
because there are many
Yeah.
opportunities. I know that people are actually looking for blockchain experts to actually design things for them, like to design. So if you know it, there are opportunities, there are jobs that are going to be ranging from hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you need to know these things. And this platform is basically what we try to do, is try to introduce you to fields, how you can get a job working in different fields, how you can get, if you own your own startup, by bringing in guests who have actually done these
Yes,
things, who have practiced, who have
let me say something on startup. Like you said, eternity has we have a kind of a funding system that we have. It's called AE Ventures. AE Ventures was built to fund startups. So if you are a developer and you have an idea and you want to apply this on the eternity blockchain, you go and learn about eternity development. Then you can get funded for your idea by AE Ventures. Okay, we have something called Starfleet project that holds every year. We have hackathons and all of that, and you can participate in this also and learn. So how to get started is that you must understand what blockchain development is, and that's why we did
you need.
a conference last week on Sunday. Sorry, not last week, or Sunday. And I would share the link to the video. I also show us an example of that. I don't know if Daniel can permit me now, so I can just show them how to write a smart contract. Just a already written code. I just explained, and
Okay.
you can see
Before we
that.
go into the code, the intricacies of code, I want to ask, like, we agreed on showing a demo to the public on, like, that's the demo we want to show us soon, right?
Yeah.
So before we actually go into the nitty gritty code, you will see some lines of code today. If you have never actually seen a line of code today, you see it today, and you can get started. But I want to say that getting started it requires passion. It requires you to actually put
Yes.
your head down. And for you to be able to start making application, before you even start getting funding, before you start talking about getting your startup, getting a job, you have to put your head down and actually learn.
Learn.
That's why
Yes. Learn. Yeah.
yes, that's why this platform was made, so that you can actually come each week, each 2 weeks, you can come and get educated on these things, so that it will give you the vibe and give you the ginger to actually want to put your head down and work, because you can actually make money from these things. This is not just for you to
Yes.
just do and have.
Sure. Yeah.
Actually make
If you
good.
know what, if you understand what blockchain is, you understand it,
Exactly.
you
Understand
make
what
money,
blockchain
then you
is.
bring money.
You
If you just come
can make
to
money from this.
make money, you lose. You just lose your money. But if you are patiently
Exactly.
learning what
It's about
it is
learning.
all about,
So this
knowledge has the greatest return. So you have to
exactly,
just
and that is
learn.
why
Yeah.
this show is here. We are planning on even making it a podcast. We are planning on putting it on YouTube, because what's the aim of this? What the Learn to Code team aim is? We are trying to see how we can push this message that, hey, you're in Africa does not mean
Yes. Yes.
you
Yes.
are less. That does not mean you don't have access to these opportunities. We are trying to
Yeah.
say, okay, these are the platforms you need to go into to actually learn more and actually make your money from these things. This is not investment. This is investing in yourself.
Knowledge.
This is
Yes.
not
Investing in yourself. Yeah.
it's about knowledge. Once you have this knowledge, you can be able to move forward into any other field of your choice. You just have to get started, put your head down and get started. So we are going to actually go into the nitty gritty details of code right now. So I'm just going to give success about 4 minutes, and I'll take back my screen. I'll give 4 minutes to put demo what Eternity apps look like, what blockchain apps look like, so I can know that this thing is real. I'm not just here talking too much, and I'm not just here shouting. This thing is actually very.
Okay. Can I? Okay. Okay. I think Daniel has an issue with his network, so let me just quickly explain what. Let me just give a theoretical background while we wait for him to come back. So, in building a decentralized application, you need to know how to write a smart contract, which it's basically writing codes to begin to interact. Okay, Daniel, you are back.
Yes, I thought I actually left you to actually start um, the whole
Okay,
process.
okay. I'll have to share my screen, so I think you can. Yeah. Okay, so let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see your screen very clearly.
Okay, let me show you. Let's go to darket.org since I'll just quickly run through and let me open my AE Studio. Um, Let me open my AE Studio also. Okay, so darket.org. Let me show you the introduction to Eternity course and also show you this is the AE Studio. Um, the AE Studio is an IDE for writing smart contracts for Sophia. Sophia is the smart contract programming language built by Eternity. Okay, Sophia is an Orca-like functional programming language. Let me show you Orca.com. I'll just quickly show us this so you can so that you can understand what functional programming is before diving in. So you can come to orca.org to learn. They have a documentation, so you can come here to learn about all of this. Now, before I show us this, Mentality also have a documentation. Also, if you want to get started, as developers, we are already familiar. If you're introduced to a programming language, for example, you are coding with Python and all of that, you always go to the documentation of the language. So this is the documentation. This is the smart contracts eternity. This is the Sophia documentation, and this is the Sophia standard library. Okay. What we did there on the application that I am using for demo, I picked most of the types and the functions and all of that from here. So you have to go through this and study. Let me drop this, in the comments so we all can have it too. Let me drop this there for us. Okay, to go through now. That for the documentation for Sophia. So this is Daki.org, Introduction to Eternity, which Eternity Development, which let me go to submissions. It's very interactive, it was made using emojis, cartoons, and all of that. So it's very easy and all of that. It was Introduction to Eternity. You watch this video, functional programming for smart contracts. You learn it also, and that's where you learn about Sophia, state channels, optional. All these are optional, but you have to learn. If you want to go to advanced learning about advanced programming in Sophia, you have to know what oracles are, what state channels are, and all of that. Now, let me quickly show us submissions on this to show us an example of applications that have been built using Sophia. Now, most of these guys you see here, they are newbies to blockchain development, and they were able to build successful, projects. As you can see right here. So let me show you the front end and see if I can connect this with the base app and show you how this works. So this is the front end. So let's take this and go to base. Okay, make this I'll make this okay, yeah. So we have a mobile view of the application. So okay, now we'll refresh so we can get the mobile view of the application so we can test this on the test net. Now you do this if you're connecting the reason why you have to go through Dake.org, because you have to know how to connect your smart contract written in A Studio, which we wrote here, with your client end, which is the front end of your DApp, HTML, CSS, to interact with the front end, which is this. This is the front end of the application. This is a student record, result record app. Understand? So the reason why this app was built was to ensure that once a result is recorded, there cannot be manipulation. We talk about the issue of blocking and all of that, losing your results, not finding your scripts and all of that. Once it's entered into the blockchain, this is the students, this is the results, the course, the raw code, the grade, the student, the coordinator imputes this into this record, and it's safe there. So let me see if wow, okay, I don't have this saved, so I'll have to get testnet token. Okay, I think I have test tokens. Okay, sure, I have test tokens. So let me show us the example of this, how it works, before I quickly show us that. So it's loading. So it's loading. Yeah, allow. So you have to allow. So let's test this. This is a student's results recorder application. Now let's put the student registration. Let's put the name. we are developers here and we went to university, so we know what the matric number is. It's a student, it's a form of identification given by the institution to the student. So let's put something random there and submit. Okay, let's put random there. So we have to confirm. I'm just showing us an example of if you are working with, if you take this your smart contract to interact with your client end, which is the front end using JavaScript, HTML and CSS, for building the front end. So now let's go down and see. So success has been entered, student success, okay, has been
Wow.
entered into the blockchain. So this is saved forever. Now we have to see if we can get the result. I think this application has a form of bug, but I think I did the testing wrongly. You have to first of all impute the result. So okay, it's correct. Now this is the student record success. This is my address and my results there. There's no result added to my record. Okay. So for example, you go to the front end and let's retest this again. Okay. Let's do this again. For example, so you will see that you'll be able to retrieve this record on the front end. You'll be able to retrieve this record. So you first of all create your record, you model your file object first of all, which I'll show you all this in actual, you first of all, let me refresh this. While I refresh this, let me explain what basically did there, although that was a different approach to it. But this is a file application, for adding files on the blockchain. For example, adding your image, saving your image on the blockchain, saving your videos, your files, and all of that on the blockchain. So what we did first of all is we modeled out our file objects to store the record of, to store a record, which is the ID, which is an integer, the name is string, the description is string, created at, which is the date was created, which is an integer, updated at an integer, the owner, which is the address of the owner, then the hash. This hash was gotten. Now you know that if you want to store a file which is an image or video on the blockchain, it's very expensive. You have to pay high gas fee and all of that. So I utilize IPFS for doing this. IPFS is a platform for storing, for saving, for uploading your file, which is your image, your video, and all of that.
Like 2 more
And
minutes. 2 more minutes.
okay, let me just quickly show us this example. So I updated this my image on here, and let me just test the file, and I uploaded on IPFS, and I copied this hash. I copied this hash here. This is the hash of the image. And I copy the hash of the image and I call it, that's the hash we are going to be calling when we deploy. So the next thing we do, then the step 2 is that we create a add file functionality. So yeah, we created an add file functionality, and we gave it a stateful entry point, to make it public that anybody can add their file. And last thing we did there is to retrieve the file. We created a function for what, retrieving the file, and also we created an abort statement. If the file is not found, file does not exist, and on the index the file is found, file exists. So that's an explanation of it. But this is the code. Let's deploy this and test. Let's deploy this. So that's basically what I did here. This is available on my GitHub. Let me take you all to my GitHub.
Right. No,
So
you just give us your
give you the
link.
link.
I would
Okay.
post it. If anybody wants to go there, they will be just go there straight. Just give me the link. I will post.
This is it. This is the test. I created it. I made it explanatory, and so that you can use that to learn. Let me take the link and give you guys. So that's for the file application. So let's deploy this and see if this works. If we can add file and retrieve file, on
No,
our smart contract.
that's it's going to take time. We are almost rounding up.
No, it
We
won't
have to
take
take
time.
you up.
Just I'm not coding,
We
just
are taking
deploying,
this one.
putting. Okay, let me just deploy this and just see.
Around there.
Okay, let me see. success. This is my image, and let's go on and copy this file hash that we got, um, and put it here. And transaction. Let's get this also and see if this runs successfully. So it was successful. We saw call successful. So we can check how many images do we have now, and it's just one. So we entered one image. So this is just an example, and you can come on Daki.org to learn how to interact with your smart contract, bringing this to the front end, which I showed us here an example of an application, which is a student record that was
Okay,
built
that's really
on
great.
the blockchain. Okay,
I'm going
so
to
this
take
is
out
just
this.
the example. So I'm done with that. Yeah.
That is a really great. They have shown us the nitty gritty details. They have shown us the details of this blockchain thing that you can actually build real applications with it, because I've
Yes.
actually used an application from this kind of things. And you said it was a report application.
It was a results record, like recording results of exam
The
when
result.
you are done with your
So
exam, so you can record
if
it.
you can learn blockchain and you're in the university or wherever you are, or you can build an application and then you can even start using that application in public, and you can get millions of dollars in revenue from that application. It just depends on your
Yes,
passion
yes.
as a person. You can get jobs. There are plenty of ways you can actually use this field to actually prosper, in whether you're in Africa, whether you're in Asia, whether you're in Antarctica. You can actually use these skills as long as you have an internet connection and you have a laptop. You are good to go. So that is
Yes.
a field that is very important. All right, so we have reached the end of this show. We have reached the end of this show. Success, thank you so much for being with us. It's really a
Thank
privilege to
you,
have you
thank
here.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you for having me.
It's really a great thing to see that people are actually in Africa who are doing good things, who are actually bringing tech to the world, who are actually in tech and who actually want to help others. It's a great thing, because one thing I've noticed is that in the technological community, now in the tech community, we are always willing to help. We always want to help others. We always want to see how we can help further
Yeah,
our
yeah, yeah,
community.
yeah.
We just want to see people come up into this technological space, because it's not yet filled up, it's not yet saturated. There's many there are spaces for people to actually get into these things. You can start your business, you can start building websites for people, you can start building applications for people without even having to work at an organization. You can do these
Yeah,
things
sure.
right in your room. You can work remotely. These are the advantages to learning these things, and this is why this platform is here. So you would see, for those who are going to watch it later, and for those watching here, for you to follow our live stream, you will see a three dots by on top of the video. You click it, and then you would see where you would see a place to follow our live stream. And that is, if you want to keep following us. Next 2 weeks, we are going to have a special guest. I'm not going to disclose who that person is, but we're going to have a special guest with us who is going to really enlighten us on some new aspects of technology. So thank you so much, Success. Thank you for being here. We are
Thank
going
you for
to
having
round
me.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to add any other thing? Do you want any other thing to be heard? Let's just say it into the
Okay.
atmosphere.
Basically, the links I dropped for you to get started in learning blockchain development on Eternity. So go through there and get started. Eternity is one of the easiest way that you can get started with blockchain development. So just let's get started from there, and also try to learn more about blockchain technology and see how we can get involved and utilize this for
Yeah.
more real world
It's
use cases. Yeah.
You have to just keep your head down and just learn. There's always
Yes.
going to be somebody higher than you. There's always going to be somebody better than you, and that's a good thing, because that gives you an opportunity to learn. That gives you an opportunity to become better at your craft. So it's just like learning a new skill, learning how to play the guitar or
Yeah.
whatever. Just learn, just start. When you start, you get it right. So see you guys next 2 weeks. We are going to see how we are going to have this as a podcast and get on YouTube. See you guys next 2 weeks.
Thank you all.